Hello and welcome to a different sort of feeling, but welcome to the Velvet Revolution. It feels slightly odd because we're doing it at a different time on a different day. Doesn't feel like a normal revolution. Feels like we're trying something different. So let's see what happens today. My name is Ben Rice, and I'm joined as ever by Dave Noble. How you doing, Dave?
I'm okay. I don't share that
No.
vibe that you just checked in with.
Okay.
Maybe that's just different, and that's okay. It's just
Mm.
different approaches to, I don't know. Explain more.
Explain your feelings. Um, it just feels a bit random. I don't remember doing one this late. So it's for anyone that is tuning in, it's just coming up to 6 o'clock in the evening here in the UK. And yeah, it just we normally do them in the morning. And so it's a bit random. It feels very uh disconcerting to be doing it at a different time. Feels a
Hmm.
bit random. So that's how I yeah, it's not it's yeah, it just feels a little strange.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get what you're saying. I'm just
Just gonna disagree.
making sure you're all right with what we're doing because
Yeah.
do you want to stop? I mean, anyone that does find this recording, or anyone that's been listening, not necessarily every week in, week out, but anyone that's joined before, they normally go out on a Sunday
Mm.
morning, and so it doesn't really have any bearing to anyone that finds these when we record it. But I get it. I totally get what you're saying. It's like, the fact that, yeah, it's a bit weird,
Yeah. Different
bit
vibe.
unsettling.
Yeah.
Do you feel unsettled?
A little bit unsettled. And I mean, today the sun has come out for the first time properly
Hmm.
as well, which makes it feel slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different vibes today for me. So
Well, as long
yeah,
as you're all right.
yeah, I'll be okay. I'll
Okay.
hold it together.
All right, cool. All right. Well, how are you anyway? Do you want to do your check-in first?
How am I? I am. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I've been out in the sunshine today. Had a nice big walk. Been to the dentist, and my apparently I've got a scalloped tongue, which she said means I've been grinding my teeth in my sleep. And so apparently that means, well, I presume if I'm grinding my teeth in my sleep, it means I must be a little bit stressed.
Or you
So,
or you're on it.
or I'm on it, yeah. So,
Yeah.
and so yeah, that means I probably need to address that in some way. There's obviously some underlying stress that I'm not dealing with, and is coming out in my sleep by me grinding my teeth. So,
My dentist that I see also had this conversation more than once with me about he identified that I had been I don't think I do it so much now, but I had been chomping away,
a teeth
chomping
grinder.
chomping at the bit whilst I'm in the in the land of cuckoo. Um, but I was like, "You sure it's just not?" Because he knew my history. Because I mean,
Hmm.
I didn't see the dentist for 10 years, and I started to work with the dentist. um, Once I started to work with myself on my health and improve it and look after it. And yeah, one of the things, when I did a full MOT, did the eye test, did the you know, dentist, all the other stuff. But one of the things that came up was like, yeah, you've been really grinding away at your teeth, haven't you? I'm like, yep, definitely. Not in my sleep either. Well,
Yeah.
actually, no, in my sleep. That's the bloody thing, when you, well, I don't know about anyone else, but for me, I can only talk for myself. When you are in the land of cocaine, um, you know, sleep with every best effort to try and sleep, it's more of a grinding exercise. You're kind of just chomping at the bit, trying to will yourself to sleep. But I think your teeth are the only things that sort of have any exercise in the night, chomping, chomping away. So yeah, mouth guard.
Yeah, yeah, she said, but it's a cost of £200. So I said to her that I would check in next time, like, because last time she had a look in my mouth, she didn't mention anything about chewing, so, or grinding. So I said, right, if next time I am still doing it, then I'll pay for a teeth guard. But at the moment, let's just see if I can maybe do a bit more meditation, a bit more reflection, and maybe see if I can deal with it therapeutically.
Yeah, always. There's always that. Definitely,
Either that
100%.
or I just go and buy myself what are they called, gum shield from the
Yeah,
sports
gum
store.
shield
Yeah,
or a dummy.
or a dummy, a pacifier. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
I
yeah,
haven't.
so I am
Yeah.
feeling okay, but obviously I've started saying by saying I feel unsettled because we're doing this at a different time. I've
Mm.
then been told by my dentist that I am chomping away in my sleep, so there's obviously some underlying stress. So maybe maybe there's something happening here, and I need to reflect a bit more. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, we'll see. See what happens in this conversation.
See
What
what see what happens. Cool.
have you been up to? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've just had a lovely little afternoon at not in the office.
no,
This is my office.
mm-hmm.
Where I'm talking from. Well, I guess wherever I am, it's an office if I want it to be. That's just the way I've mapped out my life to work. But I have my office this afternoon was the beach. I
Nice.
wasn't working. I don't know why I
Mm-hmm.
said office was the beach, but um, yeah, I was just I decided to take some time out and go and join what seemed to be a lot of tourists that are having a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really nice actually. Felt because where I went, it's quite a big, spacious up near the mount up that end where we. You remember when you came down, we walked,
Yeah.
and it was up that end. It's a huge slab of sand and a huge slab of open water, and plenty of space for people to get in and have a little.
Were people swimming?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did you ever swim?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was why I went down there mainly
Okay.
to go and have a little dunk, have a little play around in the gentle waves that were lapping in onto the shore
Mm-hmm.
in the beautiful um, early summer rays of sunshine. It was glorious, very mellow, and I cruised back along the coast back home,
Nice.
living the dream. Yeah, very mellow. So it's been really nice, and yeah, I feel just life. I feel very grateful. Feel very blessed. Yeah.
Was it busy on the beach? Were there lots of people? Was it just a
Yeah,
nice?
I mean, yeah, car parks were quite full.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But it was just really nice. It felt good. It felt nice. I think in the height of summer, it gets a little bit like, oh God, it just gets a bit much. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not height of summer, so it felt quite manageable. It was quite mellow. Everyone seemed quite mellow. It can get a bit stressy when it, crammed on to a space. It was right. It was nice. Mm.
Yeah.
Feeling good, feeling good. I think that's why I'm like, you've been to the dentist about your gnashes and you got this
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh God, and then I've been doing that, and then that's probably why I was like, oh, I don't feel like discombobulated by the timings of getting on now, and talking.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it will change throughout the episode. Maybe I'll start to get a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to make you go a bit anxious and a bit jittery by the end, and
Yeah,
I'll
and
mellow
you'll
down.
level out. You'll
Yeah.
level out. Just kick back and watch me fucking deteriorate. It
I
is
did
possible.
after the dentist. I went to a popular high street chain of photography places,
Right.
and I needed a passport photo
Okay.
because I need a new passport. And I went in, and the guy working in this store basically was just like, "I'm done." He said, "I've had enough." He said, "I had him my notice in this morning."
Really?
I was like, "Oh, right, okay." And he goes, "Yeah, my." I said, "I'm just going to spend more time with my kids." He's like, "I just don't need this job, and I'm totally done." I was like, "Right, okay, sounds good to me." And he took the photo, and he said, "Oh, your digital code's on here for when you log in." He said, "But you can have it for free." And I thought he meant the digital bit, and he meant the whole thing because I don't care anymore. So absolute touch, and yeah, I got my passport photo done.
No way. Was it his last day?
Yeah, yeah, it was literally his last day. So
I
I
was
don't.
going to say you could promote that. So anyone listening, right?
Yeah, yeah,
If you
go
live
and find
anywhere
this
near,
guy.
yeah, go and rinse it.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was a blessing after dentist. I didn't get a sticker either. Do you? They don't offer you stickers.
I got a sticker
Did you?
from the hygienist,
Yeah.
and I said to the hygienist, "Oh, I bet you give these to everyone, didn't you?" She goes, "No, no, I give about on average 3 or 4 a month." I was like, "Really?" And you're being legit with that, and I've got one. She goes, "Yeah,
Oh,
you've been a good boy."
didn't ask. Maybe I'll ask next time.
Yeah, 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 very good.
Hmm.
Right on. Should we get into it anyway? Shall we?
Yeah, I mean it's we've reached. So I've done a bit of admin, and we have actually reached episode 50. So that's quite a landmark, I think.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. So by my maths, I mean I'm not. It's not my strong suit, but I make it. We've reached episode 50.
Okay.
So if there's 26 letters in the alphabet,
Hmm.
and we are 3 letters away from the end of the alphabet, that would
Yeah.
be 52, wouldn't it?
I think
Episodes.
I think you're out by one.
No, because that's Y and Z.
Think about it, right?
So this is like, yeah, we've
If you got 26 in the alphabet and we've done one round, so we've done
yeah,
26. We're on the second round
yeah, and we've got
and we've
three left.
and we've done 23.
Yeah. So this is
20,
our 24th.
23 and 26 is 49.
Yeah, and this is our 24th.
Ah, yeah. I
Yeah.
stand corrected. I'm sorry, Mr. Rice.
So yeah, we're on episode 50. Um, yeah, which is I
Yeah,
think is
you're
pretty
right.
incredible.
Yeah, yeah. I never doubted you. I was just
You did. There was definitely some doubt in there.
no, it wasn't you. I was doubting the math. Not
Yeah.
you, just the math.
Okay.
Not your ability to do the math. I was questioning the actual numbers. That's why I was trying to calculate it.
And it's the letter X, which
Hang on. Are we on it? Are we? What?
you're
Get out of the way. Just
still on the
ignore me.
beach. You're still on the beach.
Just ignore me, man.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still shaking the sand out of my ears. Just
So we
ignore
did
me.
W last week, which was willingness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And after W
Yeah.
is X.
Okay. Do you know what? I need to do a disclaimer actually, right? I was being all cocky, right? I was being all cocksure, going, yeah, I don't feel like discombobulated by doing this later in the day. Do you know what? My strong points, whenever someone says, what's the best time of day to do anything with you,
Hmm.
it's always the morning.
Yeah.
All right, because I start to tail off, like seriously drop off
From about 11.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally once I hit the midday sun, that's it.
Hmm.
That's my day done.
Yeah.
I'm in like, manana
Hmm.
mode, manana mode. You know what I mean? I'm like, and that's it. It's only enhanced by living by water and having that whole ambience of it all. It just that's what happens. But isn't
Yeah.
that the same for everyone? You could be in a city and come like,
There's something about the coast, and I've always thought it's around ports, so places by the sea, like Bristol, uh,
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth. I've always thought there's a lot of stuff coming in and out. So it just sort of, they just have a different vibe to them.
What do you mean by that?
Like
Coming in and out. What,
imports and exports, people bring stuff through ports. So like there's always
like contraband?
like contraband, yeah, pirates.
Oh, yeah, I'm a pirate, definitely.
So I just think it's a different vibe. It's just like see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it doesn't, we'll see what we get away with kind of thing. And I just feel, yeah, I feel uh I mean, we talked about this earlier. Actually, you said when we were chatting on the phone, like you said about like the sunshine was out, and straight away you can look out your window, and it's like I'm on holiday because you've got palm trees and you've got the sea. Whereas I've got uh, housing
That,
estates and busy
yeah.
roads, and yeah,
Roadman standing on the street corner.
yeah. There was a lot of there was a whole gang of kids. There's like I don't know about 50 of them walking around the countryside. I'm sure they were looking for some
County lines, mate.
hideaway where they could
Yeah.
maybe start a fire and chill out and do what teenagers do. But yeah, it's a very even with the sun out, it doesn't feel like a holiday vibe. And I think there's still a very regimented sort of feeling about time and
Yeah.
time
Yeah, yeah.
has a bigger impact still, I think, whereas you are constantly oblivious to time.
I've always said it's an illusion, man, and it fits my narrative perfectly. Okay, so look, it is possible that I'm gonna just wilt away on this one and become very sluggish, and you might come into your own with this. So you might have to take the lead on this one.
Okay.
So proceed with what you were saying with the
So
episode
so we're on
selection.
the letter X, and last time we hit X, we came up with X rated. Um, and we literally have three X's. So we've already done one, and what
Which
we have,
was X-rated.
and we have left xenophobia
Yeah.
and Xmas.
Which my bro suggested. He said, yeah, Xmas, man. That's like, it's the amount of branches. If Xmas is the tree trunk,
Mm-hmm.
and amount of branches that can come off of that, you know, there's a lot that can come off of that. Think of one straight out the gate. Think of one that can come off of that. Xmas.
Well, there's a whole emotional suitcase of like commitment
Exactly.
and having to pretend resentment about
Resentment's a huge one.
hanging out with family and doing stuff you don't really want to do and
And then there's like there's so many like masking,
mm-hmm,
deflection.
mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, even we could talk about addiction. Just Xmas. How does your addiction play out on Christmas Day? It's like, oh, I just eat my way through it,
Mm-hmm.
or I just power drink my way through it, just so I ain't got to freaking listen to freaking Uncle Trevor fucking bang on about his Spitfires. I don't know. You know what I mean? Well, Aunt freaking Sally witter on about her freaking crusty toenails. I don't know.
Yep, yep. That
That
sounds
that,
that
that
sounds
one.
like yeah. But
Yeah.
the thing is, it's like we almost like it's a Christmas special. It's almost like we interject an X in there, but we're never going to hit X at December. I don't think
I
so.
mean, yeah, but I mean, in theory, the reason we're doing these, just in case anyone was wondering why we actually bothered to do these, is to have like a portfolio or a what's another word for it? Just a a encyclopedia, a catalogue
Hmm.
of of information as we see it that we're putting out, which people can maybe, look through and choose what relates to them and listen to it and maybe get something from it.
Yeah,
What was the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. We used toolbox before.
Toolbox. It's like a toolbox. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a big toolbox. And every time we do around 26 letters and we go through it alphabetically, if anyone who's been with us for a while and gets the groove, that we just choose off the fly whatever we're going to choose and we unpack it as best
Hmm.
we can and draw from our own experience and the sort of the way we see things and
Yeah.
that's the way it is. So yeah, X is a limited one because it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but
I mean, if we put
oh yeah, so it doesn't really matter whether it
when we do the
yeah,
Xmas.
yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying is I would love, in theory, what I would love is people around about Christmas to sort of stumble across this sort of thing. Or even if they were putting into a word search, how do I get through to Christmas with my mad family? Or, I feel really alone at Christmas. Or and I would love, lo and behold, for our episode pop up.
Yep. Yep.
Voila. Ba-bum. Shazam.
So will
Like a
we?
genie in a bottle.
So will we have done another round of X by Christmas of this year?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah, we will.
So what are you saying? You want to do?
So we don't have to do Christmas now.
It's your pick anyway.
I think it's too early to Christmas. I think we do Christmas next X,
All right. Well,
which means we've only got one choice, which is xenophobia.
all right. Well, look. Anyway, look. Right. I'm just going to throw this out there. If anyone is listening right now, please hit a freaking like button or something. Right. And I never thought I'd get into all of this
Hmm.
jazz. But I listened to some old dude. He was a veteran skater photography. I love him. He's called Schmitty. Schmitty Talks. Schmitty Talks. He's got a podcast, and he's a legend. He's in California,
Right.
and he's got a wicked podcast. And I love watching, listening to him. He's like us. He's sort of begrudgingly does a podcast, and well, not begrudgingly. He's like us. He wants to do it, but begrudgingly, it's the way he's having to put it out, And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got so he's the same. He's like, apparently, if you press like
Hmm.
and subscribe, apparently that builds up the sort of the show. It will help get the show traction so it gets to more people. And a lot of people that might be listening to this will be like, yeah, that's fucking obvious, Dave, man. But I'm like, I'm not a social media person. I'm not on it. So I'm a bit of a dinosaur. But I get what that's all about.
Hmm.
And but I never thought I'd be one of them people to sort of go, please, 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 please like and subscribe. But I get why people do it, because it builds up the show, and then ultimately we're doing this because we want to help people,
Yep.
and it's a toolbox. So the more people that find this, the better. So if you are
Hmm.
listening right now and you haven't already do it, I encourage you with humility from my end to just help us out. Yeah.
Hmm.
And he takes a second apparently.
Does it?
I don't know. Never done it.
You never liked anyone else's podcast.
A text.
Okay, but no, no, I'm
or
not.
a picture.
Did you like Schmitty's podcast, for instance?
No, because I'm not subscribed to it. Because
Okay.
I've not got my, although this is mad, although I've got the account for what we put these on, I
Hmm.
don't actually use it to follow anyone. There's only one thing I watch, and it's, I'm going to be honest, and Thrasher, who I actually want to send some stuff to, because it's a big community. It's a global community. The Skate Bible.
Hmm.
Thrasher magazine. You might have seen your kids, any dads out there or mums, you might have seen your kids wearing Thrasher magazine t-shirts or hoodies, and they probably ain't got a fucking clue what it's about. They've just seen other people wearing it and go, "Oh, that's fashion. I'll wear it." But Thrasher magazine is the Bible of
Is it?
skateboarding
Is it not just 40, 50-year-old men that wear Thrasher?
and them. But but I've been subscribed, unofficially subscribed, so I'm not subscribed on channels or but I've been following them for years, since the 80s.
Yeah.
So, and every day, literally every day, I go on there, I pop online, punch in Thrasher magazine,
See what they say.
and I see what's going on in the world of skating because I love it.
And is the world of skating still like are kids still doing it?
So I'm not subscribed to it, but I am in my own way. You know what I mean? But that's
Yeah.
how I am subscribed to it.
But are the kids picking it up as much as they did when we were kids?
What do you mean, skating?
Yeah.
Seems like more people scooter than they do seem to, because scooter's the one where you can hold on to handlebars, so it's safer. And I think a lot of parents would rather their kids be on scooters than skateboards,
Hmm.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I just wondered. Yeah.
But the risk takers, the real nutters, get on a skateboard, no pads,
Nopads.
and they break shit and they bleed, and
Yeah.
they get up and go, "That was lovely." I've always said it's artistic self harm, but there you go.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Hmm.
But anyway, to some people it's a sport. Anyway, so yeah, that had reason for me saying that is yeah, give us a fucking like, man. Subscribe, share our shit as well, people.
No.
That's my bit done. I'm not doing that
Yeah.
again.
No.
No, that's it. It's the only
Okay.
time you're gonna hear me say it in this episode.
And this episode, okay. I thought that's it. That's our one bit of advertising that
Yeah,
we're going to send out
yeah.
into
Go on.
into the cosmos.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's great, man. And so there's other ways, you don't have to subscribe to be subscribed.
No,
Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
don't have to subscribe to be subscribed.
But I'm asking people to subscribe.
Yeah, it's like this catch 22. It's a vicious sort of cycle. It's like we're talking about having a more analog life. We're talking about having more time to reflect on how you think, how you feel,
Yeah,
but we're doing that in a digital world.
I know.
So we're having to use digital tools and the modern digital sort of interface
Mm,
to put that message across. So I think as long as we are working with honesty and integrity, um,
we
yeah,
are.
we are. We're not doing this. We've not got cameras filming every second of our lives and putting out some sort of glossy version of reality and pretending everything's perfect. So yeah,
Unfiltered.
unfiltered. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
raw and unedited.
Unashamedly so. God, yeah, man. If I was precious, I would probably be insisting on editing probably half the shit that comes out of my mouth.
Yeah,
And you would too. You'd be like, Dave, you need to tone it down,
yeah,
pull it back a bit. But
yeah.
fuck
That's
it.
it. That's it.
Fuck it. I was talking to someone, and we'll end on this. I was talking to someone about doing some short reels.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to someone about, doing some little edits to, because everyone's so fucking ADHD about watching shit they can't handle watching or listening too long. So they need short little bite-sized pieces to gain, gain their attention. That sounds like a blanket diagnosis for a lot of people, but fuck it.
Mm.
And isn't that's the same for everyone? I'm included in that
Yeah.
as a text. Just the way how we've been conditioned. But anyway, unless you're not. And I was saying this guy was sort of offering. He was saying, "Look, I'll do some shorts, man. You know, I'll do it for the love of it because I want to. I believe in what you're doing and it's service. You know, I want to give back.
Hmm.
Someone that I've helped." And he was expecting, like, he goes, "Look, you know, it might take a bit of time because, you know, I've got to think about three different camera angles because we don't do videos, but we're toying with the idea of putting videos out, aren't we?
Yep.
Putting cameras on." But so he was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm gonna have to do the free camera." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no. This is unedited, bro. You ain't got to do no edit cuts, man. It's like we don't edit." There's none of that jazz. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Love it. Raw.
Yep.
Thrasher. Right, should we get into it?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to do xenophobia, yeah?
Why?
Well, we have discussed that. Basically, we've done the only other X that there is, and we could do Christmas, but it feels a bit early in the year to do
All right.
Christmas. So
All right, so Ben,
yeah.
let me ask you,
Hmm.
when was the last time you was xenophobic?
it's
I
it's
mean,
is it
so
even an emotion? Is it
let
a
me
feeling?
let me just get grab the big book right a minute because I want to be clear on this.
Okay.
Uh, I know I am because I'm thinking that's a sort of toy with the idea of not how we're going to do this. Not worried about that bit. Never
Right.
worry about the how. Never worry about the how. It's more to do with just being clear of what we're unpacking.
Hmm.
And maybe for anyone that's found this episode and maybe you're not sure. So xenophobia, it's really not hard to find in the big book of words because I've gone to X. There's not a fucking lot in there. You've got literally X chromosome, xenon, xenophobia, xerography, Xerox, Xmas. Xmas is in there.
Really?
Yeah. X-rated, covered that. X-ray, xylem, the tissue implants which carries water and nutrients upwards from the root. Mm. And then xylophone.
Is it too late to change the xylophone?
Mm. Striking a row of wooden bars with small hammers
Yeah.
whilst dressed as a leprechaun. To make it a bit more entertaining. Right, so um xenophobia or xenophobe, right? So Greek origin of xenophobe, Greek, right? The origin
Hmm.
of that is it kind of translates to stranger.
Yep.
Did you know that?
Nope.
So xenophobia is a strong, and it does say strong,
Yep.
dislike or fear of people from other countries. Now, how fucking apt is that right now in the current climate?
It's very apt. Yeah.
So let's unpack it. So over to you, Mr. Rice. I'm going to let you take the lead, and I'm just going to have a little kick back and
You're going to
listen.
snooze like you're back on the beach.
And I'm just going to let you, because you are, I think you're very well educated, culturally. Um, you've got a lot of bandwidth, and you're a head
Mm.
teacher.
Hmm.
You've got your finger on the pulse. You know, you have
Yep.
to sit in a lot of committee meetings and all of that jazz, right?
Hmm.
Noticed I keep saying jazz a lot on this episode.
you're, you're well jazzed out.
I think I might have been in inhalation. The inhalations were. I was getting a backdraft from one of those Jamaican doobies that someone was smoking a couple of freaking seats down the beach away from me. See,
Right,
that doesn't
okay.
even make sense what I'm saying, does it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's why you can't record after midday.
Right, go on. Anyway, so
So the
what's your thoughts on this?
so fear of strangers or fear of foreigners, it's a fear of difference, I think. Anything that's, for me, it's ignorance. It's a not wanting to understand anyone else. Uh it's uh whether that's because people look different or they sound different or they do different things. um I've got I mean that, you know culturally, uh the experience of different kind of celebrations, of ways of celebrating. I mean, the first thing I think of is Christmas, which is weird because we said we weren't going to talk about Christmas, Xmas. But I was with someone for quite a long time in my life who was from a different country, who celebrated Christmas in a very different way to how we celebrate it here in the UK. Um, and yeah, it makes you sort of appreciate different ways of thinking about stuff, and thinking about how you or even why we do the things we do, or get stuck in our ways. um and then I guess the other thing that comes up for me with xenophobia and fear of strangers is very much in my line of work. I work uh in a what I work in a setting where a unconscious bias towards people who are look different, whose skin color is different to the majority of people in the UK. So I work in a predominantly white area, whereas the percentage of young people in my school who would identify uh, as black or mixed race is much higher than the percentage of the population in the area that I work in. Does that make sense?
Mm.
So that would suggest that there's a very strong unconscious bias towards behaviors that would suggest that kids whose skin color is different automatically behave worse than the majority of white kids in the area. um and what has come up for me in the recent sort of climate, in the recent sort of way that the world has started to look much more closely at gender, at race, at sort of these very strong key issues. Um, the Me Too movement, all of these sort of social movements that have really raised the profile of um, things such as racism, as sexism, is that it's really created this very polemic sort of situation where you're either in the right camp or you're in the wrong camp.
What does polemic mean?
Very black and white, very sort of,
Okay.
very strong oppositional sort of ideas.
Okay.
And what that does, I find, is it really upsets people because no one wants to admit that they might be racist, and no one wants to admit that they might be sexist. No one wants to admit that these thoughts happen, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And what I have, or what I think is more helpful, is for us to have a more accepting conversation
Mhm.
where we say, actually, uh, I am conscious or I am aware that I might get it wrong. I might do something that is offensive,
Mhm.
and I would like to be better next time.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be cancelled. I don't want to be written off because I got it wrong this time.
Yeah.
And I find I found working in a school and being about teaching and learning is that we are much better as human beings if we use these experiences as learning experiences and have conversations and work out how we can do it better going forwards. We've made a mistake. It may be a really hurtful mistake. It may be a really, you know, a really offensive mistake. But if that is it, and we've written that person off, and there's no way we can move forward, then we end up in a situation where we've kind of just like, well, that's it. That person's done now. And really, it should be about education. It should be about, right, what did you get wrong? And can you learn from that? Can you be better next time? Can you be aware that what you said was offensive? Can you be aware that uh, consciously or unconsciously you did something wrong, and accept that and go, okay, but I'd like to be a better human being. So I would like to be in a situation where next time that situation arises, I am not going to be offensive. I am um, not going to be doing the wrong thing. And unfortunately, it feels at the moment, as I said, that in a society where we're at, everyone is very, very angry, and everyone is looking for scapegoats. Everyone is looking for the person whose fault it is that everything is so difficult at the moment, and everyone is so angry. So it's very easy to blame the stranger, to blame the person that doesn't fit, the person that doesn't, that looks different to the rest of the community
Yeah.
or is different to the rest of the community. And yeah, it just means that, as I said, I just think we're in a situation at this moment in time where it is really difficult, and it's really difficult to have honest, open conversations where people can learn and grow without there being this fear of judgment and um, a sort of yeah, writing off, saying that's it, you're done. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's where I sit at this moment in time when we start talking about xenophobia. It's a scary world out there where people are looking to find a reason to put blame on somebody, because it's much easier to put blame on somebody that things are rubbish than it is to go, actually, we're all collectively responsible for this.
Mm.
We all need to work together to do something about this, rather than look for someone to be the fall guy.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, got it. What's coming up for me? It was just on the tail end of what you were saying. Suddenly occurred to me, I'm just joining the dots with the term, the actual name xenophobia
Mm-hmm.
or xenophobic. That um that ingredient, the ingredient of xenophobia has been used for a very long time. It's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ingredient, a vital ingredient, a necessary ingredient. It's been used strategically to dismantle, disrupt, divide in order to conquer.
Mm-hmm.
It's an important, it's a vital, necessary, fundamental ingredient. There's other ingredients that go in the mix because what comes up out of being xenophobic, and I'm going to put my hands up. I'm not exempt from that that condition because it's conditioning. I believe, like a lot of conditioning, that I was going about my day, minding my own business when I was younger. Just all I was set on was I just want to put playing cards on my spokes with pegs, pretend I was on a motorbike, and
Hmm.
ride around the state thinking I'm like Andy Hoffman or Evil Knievel
Hmm.
or whoever, and I was just that innocence. But there's these subliminal messages. I remember watching Cowboys and Indians. I remember watching them, and I always distinctly thinking the Indians seem like the good guys to me. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's these subliminal messages, man, through many, many fucking uh, many forms are projected, like movies. Well, yeah, movies are a big one, but they are projected. That's what it is. It's a projection, like
Hmm.
everything. We get projected messages. Some of it's subliminal. Getting fucking deep now. And I was receiving those from a very young age. And the narrative didn't tally up to me. It's almost like I didn't buy into it. Because I remember at school when I was young, one of my best friends had different coloured skin to me. One of the girls that I got on with and used to have a laugh with had different coloured skin to me, you know? And I've got many examples of that have played out throughout my life and still to this day. Yeah. So I never really bought into that kind of. I kind of it just felt off. It didn't quite read. It didn't calculate with me. Didn't buy into it. And yeah, it's the way I see it. Is I think I'm not xenophobic. I'm not an addict. I'm not insane. I'm not depressed. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I am not a lot of things. I can be those things that I just said, all of them, but they're not actually who I am by default. I'm not. And that's the same for everyone. Same for all you lot listening. It's the same for everyone. We're not any of those, right? We're not. Okay. But the conditioning that we receive can make us think that we are, or can act, or we can attach to that stuff and behave in a way that other people might think we are some of those things.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think the honest answer is we are none of those things, but we're also all of those things.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
there's no way that I have lived a life where at some point I haven't been xenophobic. There's just no way I haven't said something that or done something that would have been or could be judged as as xenophobic, and I think that's the reality of where I grew up. It's the reality of my context, and I think it's uh, I think it's really important to acknowledge that and to say I have I that is where my understanding of life started, but I'd like it to be somewhere, I'd like to be growing as I keep getting older.
Mm,
I would like to become wiser, and I'd like to become better and more understanding and uh more accepting. And
mm,
if I have been offensive, if I have done something wrong, then I'd like to have a conversation about it and say, okay, I'm really, you know, that there's nothing in me where I would do something with malicious intent.
mm,
Uh, and that I think that is an important is intent. And I think, I do think this is it's a really, obviously it's very very loaded because of everything that is going on in the modern world at this moment in time. But I mean, when we first started this, we first talked about doing a podcast together. It was like, well, we're two white middle-aged guys, you know talking about stuff.
talk for yourself. I'm deeply tanned.
You're deeply tanned, yeah.
I'm levered. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
And it's like it, those have been the predominant voices in the world. And like you said, the conditioning out there is the white guy has always been seen as the aggressor, and as the person that is in charge, and is taking control of everything, and has conditioned us to think in a certain way. um and like you said about films, I think I remember when Black Panther came out, and I remember going to the cinema. I think it was Finchley I was in at the time. And when you go and see a film, and like literally there's no seats left in a cinema.
I'd walk out. I wouldn't sit on a seat if it was packed. I'd be out of there.
Yeah,
I made
it's
that mistake once. Sorry, once me and my friend Robin, I love Robin, and we were late going to watch. Fuck, what film was it? It was some really mad action film. I think it was like, um, the what you call it? Christopher Nolan with Bane.
one of the Batmans.
Yeah, and we were late, and the only seats we could get were the very front row.
Right.
And I was just like sat there watching it, completely like sorcerized. It just violated my senses.
Yeah.
Walked out there traumatized.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going off.
Well, no, but I mean, it's very rare these days you go to a cinema that is absolutely packed, or it is. I find it rare for me. I can't think of a film like you said. Like I think one of the last ones. Well, yeah, it would have been might have been the Avengers, or one of
Mm.
those
I'll
big
never do that
blockbuster.
again. No, never again, ever.
But yeah, and I wouldn't if I go to book tickets and the only ones left are the silly seats at the front. There's no way I'm going. But Black Panther was one of those films where I went in and there was a real buzz in the cinema.
Mm.
There was a really lovely buzz in the fact that this whole cinema was packed, and it wasn't a it wasn't just a white audience watching a white superhero save the world yet again. It was a completely multiracial audience, and the family behind me uh, was a black family, and the young boy. I think he said it was the second or third time he'd seen it that day, and
What?
and it was like it was my narrow understanding was suddenly broadened in the fact it was like, okay, well, this little boy, I mean, he's actually seen someone that looks like him on the screen saving the world. And
Yeah.
and like his family will know he's lucky enough to grow up where that has happened. But his family will have, that's the first time that ever there's been a black superhero on the screen in a family Marvel superhero film saving the world.
It's great. That's ultimate empowerment right
Yeah.
there.
And and I, we take so many things for granted in the world that we live in because we've grown up in, you know, a predominantly white environment in a uh, you know, leafy suburbs of one of the shires of, there's lots of conditioning that comes with that, as we talked about.
Yeah.
And to understand that broader view of the world, and to understand that there's life outside the shires, we need to go to Mordor and drop the ring in the fire and all that. And it's an understanding that actually there's loads of different types of people out there in the world, and lots of different ways of living, loads of different contexts, loads of different cultures, and loads of richness and diversity, and all of that is worthy of celebration and of understanding. And we we live in such a narrow sort of view of the world
Yeah.
because we are conditioned by where we've grown up, by Hollywood. Hollywood has been, and we've Hollywood has been the predominant filmmaking machine for the past 60, 70 years. And you can take that as you want, but it means we get a very narrow view of the world.
Yeah. I don't get me started on that, please. Don't.
What, in Hollywood?
Yeah, just don't. I
Okay.
just don't want to waste time on here talking about that. Because I'll just go off on one. But yeah, so anyway, what I see, the way I see it, and I've always seen it. I said it earlier. I always, from a very young age, just saw. It's almost like just even past the name, the identity of the names or what you look like. It's just I see way past that stuff, way past it. Always have done, always will. You know, when I'm talking to someone, I look at someone, I'm just like I'm talking to a soul. And that sounds very like San Francisco vibes, man. But it's true. That's how I feel. That's how I see it. No amount of conditioning can trip me up to kid me into thinking that I've got to base my relationships with other humans, um, on the way they look or the little culturally indifferent, the indifferences that people present culturally.
Mhm.
It's like, I've said this before on it, and I'm going to say it again. We all love each other. We all love each other. Like, yes, you at home, you're included in that. We all love each other. We've just maybe forgotten, or we haven't realized it yet, you know? And we all love ourselves. And a big part of what we all talk about, well, it's not what we all talk about. A big part of what we talk about on here, we may have different terms and ways of putting it, but it's all the same. It all comes to the same thing. Self-realization. How can I go on an inward journey of self-realization on a deeper level so I can get really to the 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 authentic part of my experience and who I am. Yeah. And in and outwardly, how can I do that with other people? And I think media and that fucking Hollywood place you was mentioning, it's got so much to do with the fact that we you know the narrative's been the strong one. It's potent.
Mhm.
There's been some real potent stuff that's been spewed on us, man, from a young age. And I'm not alone. There's some people that are going to be like me who just didn't buy into it and, had their own minds and thought, no, I just see people as people. You know. Um, but I've been affected by, I'm just trying to think of an example. Like I've been greatly affected by that sense of uncertainty or fear or insecurity around when I've been in other cultures that I'm alienated from. I don't understand. I'm yet to comprehend.
Hmm.
But it's like, what do you do with that? Do you just remain ignorant and you just are closed off from it and you don't want to know and you don't allow yourself to explore or learn about it and understand it on a greater level so that you can then maybe relate in a better way or connect in a better way. I don't know. I have felt like that, especially when I've traveled on my own. So I've traveled
Hmm.
a lot. I've been on my own in a lot of places in the world. And I haven't always felt safe. And I think some of that's rational, some of it's irrational, you know. And I'll give you an example. I was in um, Malaysia, Southeast Asia, right?
Hmm.
Um, and it's a big part of where I was staying, especially. Am I right in saying I'm not sure? Please correct me if I'm, disclaimer. I may get this wrong, but it's kind of like a big part of the Malay culture is heavily. There's Buddhists there. There's a lot of Buddhism there, but there's different sort of sectors, like everywhere. But I think Muslim is a part of it. And I remember being there. Now I'm heavily tattooed, right? And I've got blue eyes
Hmm.
and I've got fair hair and I'm tall and I'm on my own. And I tend to sort of gravitate to areas where I'm probably, there's not many tourists. And I like to go off the beaten track. And I remember finding myself on this island off the west coast of Malaysia. And I'd got to I had to get a boat over there, literally a small boat. And I went over there, got taken over there. And I was there for a week or so, a few days on my own. And it suddenly dawned on me that I'm pretty much the only person of my ilk on that island
Hmm.
at that time. And I started to sort of notice that I was getting more and more attention from local people. And there was one day in particular where I was just sort of hanging on the beach with my little guitar lily under a tree, kind of like what I was up to today, basically. And there was a group of guys started turning up on bikes, and they looked like the local sort of thugs, hoodlums, like gangsters. Now, I don't know if that was just my fear response
Yeah.
or if it was, I don't know if that was a rational, irrational, legitimate fear. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I guess would I be right in saying that I became overwhelmed with xenophobic thoughts? I don't know. I'm trying to use the word in a way, in context of what I'm trying to describe. I don't know anyone listening if you've ever been in a situation like this, where you suddenly realized you're like, oh God, I'm in a strange land. I'm on my own. I'm in a strange culture that I don't really understand. I can't speak the local language. And yeah, I'm on my own here. And nothing bad happened. It was all good, you know? A smile and a kind face goes a long way, you know? And actually, when I got back to mainland, I actually did say to the guy, and he was a Malay guy on the hotel front desk. I said, "Why is it wherever I go, I get people sort of talking behind their hands. They're looking at me and they're talking because I'd eat out on my own, and I've been, traditional. I want to experience the culture. Um, so I'm in like, locals places where people are dining. I'm on my own, blue eyes, fair hair, light skin, heavily tattooed. But I have a habit of, even if someone's doing that sort of, sort of not sniggering, but like sort of talking behind their hand to
Hmm.
each other, and they're talking about you. You just know. But I'm sort of person that will just smile anyway, and like, hi, and want to talk to them, even though they probably don't want to talk to me, maybe. But then is that me just projecting in my preconceptions there?
Maybe,
I don't
maybe.
know, but I'm willing, and I'm open to connect to anyone. I'm that sort of person. I'm the guy on the London Underground who will want to talk to you. Whether you like it or not, you're having a
Everyone's
conversation.
worst nightmare.
Yeah, right. And I can read the room. I know, I can reel it in, but I just want to connect to people, man.
Hmm.
Right. And so I asked the guy on the front desk, I was like, what is it? What are they what are they, you know, I was trying to figure out culturally, what is it that they, is it okay? Am I safe basically? Is
Hmm.
anything bad going to happen? Because everywhere I go, people seem to talk, blah, 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 blah. And he says, well, what it is, mate. Well, he didn't say mate. But he says, what it is in our culture, tattoos are for the gangsters.
Okay,
Yeah. Crooks, convicts, and thieves have
right.
tattoos. But he says, the thing that is confusing to a lot of people, and he goes, I can speak for people of Malay because, I understand the culture. He goes, is it's confusing is because you've got a kind face. So you look like you should be in prison, but you look like you want to hug them. And they're probably just fucking confused. It doesn't quite calculate.
Right.
So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. So that's just one example of a time where I can feel where I started to question my safety. I felt afraid maybe. Plus also the prayer time. And forgive me if anyone is Muslim and I'm getting this wrong, but from what I understand, they have certain prayer times.
Hmm.
And they have it's like the cry out, it's like they play I
Call to
don't,
prayer, innit?
yeah. And I remember walking down a street and I was going, there was mosques, there's a lot of mosques, places of worship, down the place where I was. And there was a lot of people on foot walking and they were all sort of going to prayer.
Hmm.
And again, it was one of the moments where I actually thought, I'm an alien right now. That's how I felt. I'm being honest. I felt like an alien. I felt very alone and very unsure of, because what I was, and I remember sharing with someone about this, what came up for me is that noise, that background, that conditioning that I had received for what that means when you hear the sound, that backdrop of the prayer. It's a very distinct prayer. Can you do
Hmm.
it? Do you know how to do it?
No.
Oh, I was hoping you might be able to just quickly give us a little 5 seconds, but I still.
Absolutely not.
Oh, but it's that kind of, and I think it's really quite cool. I like that sound, but
Yeah.
then there's something in me that actually it had a trigger response. I'm going to be honest. It actually made me feel a little bit like,
And when I say absolutely not, that means as in I don't want to offend anyone by pretending I can do
yeah, no,
that sound.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Just to clear that up. Not that if I could do it,
absolutely,
I'd
I
do
am absolutely not doing
it. Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Not on my watch, mate.
No, get out.
Yeah. Oh, were you freaking xenophobic bastard? But anyway, so yeah, it was just that kind of yeah, it's there's something about it that is not, I'm gonna say it, it's not British where I'm from.
Yeah,
And that's not me going, it's a bad thing, but it's just me. I was very aware at that time that I'm in a strange land, in a strange culture, on my own, feeling alienated. And that's what come up for me. Now, if I can feel like that, is it possible that people from other lands who come to where I'm from, where I live, can feel the same when they hear, all right, mate, oi, do you want to go for some fish and chips, pal? As a shit example, is it? You know what I mean, though. Or they hear the football guys. I was going to say
Mm.
hooligans, the football supporters. Sorry, any football fans. Not all British football fans are thugs. But is it possible that people from other cultures and other nations feel also like aliens on our shores
Of course.
when they hear, um, I don't know, trying to think of an example.
Well, for instance, in the town that is just behind where I live, because I've been walking a lot over the past couple of weeks, and there's a pub, and I think it's called the Jolly Briton or the something Patriot or something. I mean, it is.
The Jolly Britain.
You couldn't get a more British pub if you tried. It's flying St George's flags constantly. It's one of those pubs, where you can't really see in it. It's kind of covered the front. It's and
Locking, Locking Central.
yeah, you're just like, and I have been, I've walked past there on a really hot sunny day, and there's lots of people sort of outside, smoking, using
Hmm.
the benches outside to socialize and drink outside,
Yeah,
and there is a certain clientele there who I would uh, describe as quintessentially English, and
you're being polite.
I'm being polite, and
Did they have quite um expanded, like would their stomachs indicate they drink a lot of ale?
yes, I would go for lager rather than ale, and I
Okay.
would say that a lot of them had tattoos of bulldogs and
St. George's Cross.
St George's crosses. I could imagine. I felt intimidated walking past that. I
Yeah,
felt
I feel you.
I felt like, oh, they
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm like, that doesn't feel safe to me,
Not my
let
kind of people,
alone
man.
let alone if I happen to be significantly more different to that group of people.
Yeah.
Um, that if I came from a different culture, different country, my skin color was different. I just yeah. So you swap those contexts around, and I think it's again. I think it's that understanding of how you are perceived, and if there is fear there and you do not feel safe, then there there needs to be an understanding on the group that is doing that, or on the people that are doing that, or the individual that's doing that,
Mm.
of why and how. I remember having this conversation with kids at school, because a lot of my kids will walk around town, in big groups, being really loud and gregarious. A lot of them will wear their hoods up and over their heads, and they'll be walking around with plumes of vape juice smoke coming out of them, and that they'll just be walking along a pavement like five deep, and everyone shouting, trying to get attention, and you try to explain to them, like, as an individual, they might look fine, or they might look quite safe. But as a group, that's really intimidating.
Mm.
You know, if whoever you are, that is, trying to sort of, navigate around that on a pavement or whatever, or in the middle of a shopping center. You try and explain to kids that what they're doing by being that big and that loud and that intimidating, or sorry, is intimidating, and they don't get it.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm well. I think some groups of people, like the people that drink in the Jolly Patriot, whatever it's called, probably know uh, to probably are far too aware of what they're trying to portray. But
What is that, do you think? What are they trying to portray, Mr. Rice?
um,
Authority?
yeah, sense of like it's. I think it comes from a sense of fear in them as well,
Absolutely.
that they don't belong, or they don't have a group or an identity.
Yeah.
And so it's strength in numbers, isn't it? It's always
Yeah.
like, how can I fit in
Uh,
and feel like I have some sort of power.
it is, yeah, powers, yeah.
Power.
Bang on, bang on, bang on.
Um, so I think it's a yeah, it's a
I
lot
t
about that, isn't it?
I'll tell you what they are, where their power comes into play.
Go on.
Drinking.
Yeah.
They can fucking power drink, man. They can put them away. They can put them away, all right. Um, sounds like I'm judging them. Sorry, but just an observation. Um, yeah, I mean, you know what I was sharing, right? So I feel alienated, like you. I that really when you was describing that, have a massive aversion towards those sort of people. See, I sound like really that's the way I'm putting it. It sounds bad, doesn't it?
Mm.
But that's my honest response to it. I feel like really repulsed by not. I love all of those people. Like, I've got time I would do anything for these sort of people. But what I don't love is their behavior, their attitudes, and that sort of stuff really bothers me.
Yeah. You see what
I,
I mean?
I,
I've already made a judgment about them, that they are the people shinning up lampposts, attaching the Union Jack. Like, again, there's a town near me. You know it very well. We both grew up around it, and you drive through it, and every lamppost has a Union Jack flying off it.
does it?
Yeah.
Hang on, you're gonna be cryptic.
It's got a hospital there,
Okay,
and it's a fairly
does
modern
it?
town. A modern town.
I mean, hell,
I
is it
grew up
really?
much closer to it than you did, but you did grow up near it.
And it's got flags.
Yeah.
Like, we're British.
Yeah.
What's all that about?
And you try. You speak to. I've got there's a lady at work who's a second generation Indian. Her parents came over here from India,
Mm,
and she's just said it's just horrible. She said just
yeah.
just driving through it, and having to experience that, and that level of intimidation just from flags. And yeah, the fact that people think that's what they need to
Mm.
do, that they
I'm
need
just,
to sort of
mm,
stamp their sort of sense of identity on.
yeah. I'm vague still. Is it the one that had a John Lewis?
No, no,
Okay, is it the one that,
it's further up the A1.
trying to think, man. Is it bitching?
No, it's next to
No.
that.
Is it a Garden City?
No.
I just can't think where it is. Don't tell me off the off thing.
It's
But
where I went to. It's where I went to art school,
oh,
and
all right,
and
yeah, okay.
so did Leo.
Right, the people that have moved there, all the posh lot that have now moved there, settled there, they call it differently, don't they? They can't
Yeah,
even bring themselves to say the actual name.
yeah,
Right, okay, got ya. Has that really got Union Jacks everywhere?
yeah,
My God. Yeah, I used to skate there, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 the old 70s skate park.
Hmm.
See, skateboarding, right? Let's bring skateboarding back into it.
Okay.
That is, in my opinion, and to my knowledge, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, you can go anywhere in the world, anywhere, and you roll up with a skateboard and you connect to any skate crew anywhere in the world. It's going to be fist bumps, one love. It's all good, man. You've got brothers and sisters. It's a fellowship, one
Hmm.
love. It's proper. And that is the blueprint of how we should all be living. We should all be skateboarding.
What happens if you've got dreadful balance like me? I'd just be the outsider. Everyone would
Just
pick on me.
you'll be the scooter dude.
The security.
You need handlebars, mate,
Yeah, yeah.
for stability. All right, so that's what I gravitate towards the skate world. That's a big part of my me belonging. My that was early fellowship for me.
Well, I think both of us have grown up with that understanding of being the outsider, and the groups that are on the edge of society tend to be more accepting
Definitely,
and more understanding of difference
definitely,
because that's what everyone feels,
yeah,
to a lesser or greater extent.
yeah.
um I mean, I another one of my favorite stories from a kid was my nan took us to London, took me and my sister to London for the day. I can't remember which museums we went to. It might have been Madame Tussauds. And then we were coming home on the train, and we went to get off at our stop, and the doors didn't open. And there was a fault on the train, and it had to go to the next station, and the doors opened there, and we had to get off and wait for a train to come back. Now, my nan was about 5'2". She was tiny, this tiny little thing. She grew up in a Dr. Bernardo's home, and she didn't eat. She didn't like food. I'm pretty sure nowadays she would have been diagnosed with an eating disorder, but basically, yeah, there was nothing of her. And she looked like a nan. She had little white, grey, curly hair, wrinkled face. She looked like a nan. And but one of the things she did, which I guess people of that generation did a lot more now, was she was a big smoker. And smoking was, she would smoke wherever she could. And so we got off at the next station, and we had to wait. And she had some fags on her, but she didn't have a lighter. And in the waiting room was this young, she probably was in her 20s. I remember you telling me the story about the guy at the newsagents, um, the punk rocker at the newsagents. It reminds me of that.
Yeah,
This girl there was not a part of her skin that didn't either have some sort of tattoo on it or piercing. And she had them full Mohican, bright red. She was, yeah, fully punked up,
love it.
and she looked quite scary. And my nan, through smoking, went and got a light off this punk, and they sat there and had a chat, and were having a chat whilst they shared their
Love it.
fags.
Love it.
And me, as I'm God knows how old I was, probably about 8 or 9. I was just sitting there like, oh my God, my nan's
Yeah,
talking to this punk
yeah,
rocker.
yeah, yeah.
But it's that ability. I know the thing that joined them at that point was smoking. It sort of helped join the dots and break the ice.
I mean,
But I do think that is it's what we don't do. It's you know, it's
Yeah,
like whether we you know we break bread together, we
yeah,
sit and we eat, and we
yeah,
there's something that brings us together as humans. Then
yeah,
goes actually, we have more in common than where there is
yeah,
when we have it, you know, that is
yeah,
different. So
yeah,
why
yeah,
don't we sit down and have a conversation and see what we share
yeah,
as opposed to what we don't?
yeah, absolutely. I agree. Um, it's like we have more similarities than we have differences. And it's a bit like that them messages that conditioning wants us to look at all of the indifferences.
Mm-hmm.
It wants us separated.
Yeah,
It wants us to judge like I was just a little while ago, going, I don't like those type of people. And I'm talking
yeah,
about my own people here, but they're not my people.
no,
I've got nothing in common with them. Right now, if I was to be in a situation like, let's say there was me and one of those people that you was describing from the Jolly, what was it?
the jolly racist is basically it's what I've nicknamed the pub. So I can't remember what the proper
Right.
name.
So me and Basher from the Jolly Racist, right? And
Yeah.
Me and Basher, right? We're over we're back in Malaysia, right?
Okay.
So let's pretend that me and Basher, I don't know what I'm calling Basher. Basher, right? And he's got his tattoos. I've got tattoos,
Mm-hmm.
but mine are probably more sort of. Well, I've got half an arm that's all blooming Indian.
Have you got any St George's crosses?
Oh, I fucking ain't.
Have you got any like bulldogs?
No, no. I've got like Native American Indian shizer. I've got Egyptians. I've got everything that's not British basically on me. Right? It's a dedication to my worldly travels and me taking the cultures from other countries and connecting to them and feeling inspired and part of. I feel more connected to some of these other places than I do have anything in common with Basher from the Jolly Racist and his chums, right? Anyway, so me and Basher are in Malaysia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're walking down the street and the call of prayers on and it's go time for the Muslims and they're all going to pray, right? Now, what I didn't finish that story. What I did do is I actually started I went and visited some of these places
Mm-hmm.
and I actually went and did my own little sort of spiritual journey of it. So I wanted to absorb it, but my initial response was I was scared, felt quite alienated, but I lent into it. And by the end of that trip, I went back there 2 or 3 times back to Malaysia and enhanced that experience and learned more. Exactly what you were saying, and I felt more confident
Mm-hmm.
because I was open and willing to to experience it like I would anywhere. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Is that right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But anyway, so me and Basha, we're in Malaysia. We're walking down the street, call a prayer. Muslims are all, having a little cruise down the street it's prayer time. Let's get it on, right? And it's one of them times where when it's like Brits abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone at home listening, you don't have to be British. Think of your own country and your own cultures, right? And your own people. And I say your own people, we're all our own people. Everyone is connected. But you just think that bias, we feel, I've seen it everywhere you go when you travel. When two people connect at an airport and you're like, oh, a fellow American, or oh, a fellow Italian, or oh, a
Mm-hmm.
fellow, Japanese person, or whatever, it don't matter. When you have two people from the same nations connect who are complete strangers, there's some sort of, you feel there's like a home, it feels like home,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's no different for Brits, right? But then there's me and Basha. I'm not sure I would saddle up with Basher and feel that way, inclined to want to saddle up with Basher and feel homely. No, just because he's from the same place I'm from,
Mhm.
got nothing in common with him. Nothing. It's just I don't know if what I'm saying is actually relevant or making sense. I think I'm just live processing what this all means to me,
Yep.
and we're recording it, so and there's no edits, so it's all staying in. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's like I've had loads of times I can recall where I've actually been overseas in a strange land, and I have seen fellow Brits, and I've actually sort of gone, "Ah, it's not for me, I'll keep it sweet and short, and I'll make my excuses. I'm off,
Mhm.
you know. I remember being in Hawaii a couple of years back, and there was all of this like drumming, and all of the something really cool was going on. There's always something really cool going on at night in Hawaii, man. And it's just one of them places where they just rejoice in music and sound and chanting and their local cultures. And again, it's sort of like, there's again that trigger response of like, oh, this is strange to me. What do I do with this? Do I hide away and not explore it and just stay safe in my own comfort zone, or do I dare to get out of my comfort zone and go and dive in and see what's going on? And that's what I decided to do. So I left my hotel because it was quite late at night. I left my hotel. It was very loud, drumming, like tribal drumming,
Mhm.
like tribe drumming, and all sorts going on. And it's almost like war cries, very indigenous, sort of like um, almost like Mayan, but it's not Mayan because they're in Hawaii, right? But you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've gone to explore, and I'm standing there, and there's a massive crowd, and I'm standing there, and I'm at these gates of this property, and there's a private party going on, and they'd obviously hired some of the local Hawaiians to do this whole freaking ritual thing. It's amazing. It was so cool. So I was watching it through the gates, and I couldn't believe it when the guy next to me, in a Mancunian accent, went, I'm not going to try and do it, but he was like, all right, mate. No, that's not right. He was like, all right, mate, where are you from? He knew straight away I was from England
Mhm.
just by looking at me.
Yep.
And then we had a bit of a chat and that. And he was over there doing some coaching, not footy coaching. He was doing some sort of sport coaching with him and the girl that he was with, the woman. I had a little chat, and it's kind of nice. That was a time I remember where it was like, oh yeah, no, these are all right. These are good people. But then if Basha was there, I might not have been so engaging with that.
It's that ability to be tolerant, to be respectful, to walk towards something that doesn't necessarily feel. Uh, I mean, you use the word safety, but yeah, I guess that
Familiar, familiar.
familiar. That's it. Yeah. So it can feel uncomfortable, but it's. I mean, I do have to give um, some props to my folks because I was brought up in a way where my tolerance for difference is pretty big. Like we were surrounded by. I mean, my dad worked in a very creative industry, um, which had some interesting characters in, and so my tolerance for people that have quite bizarre views on the world, or have a different take on the world, alternative takes, I guess I would say, is pretty extreme. So it's very rarely that I would uh, not go towards something that a lot of people may find uncomfortable. I'm quite happy to have that conversation. Um, my parents had this friend. He moved to Brazil because he was obsessed by aliens, and he moved to.
Hang on. I don't.
So apparently, there's more ley lines in Brazil than anywhere else.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm with you. Sorry.
So that's why he moved to Brazil, and he was just fascinated by sort of Mayan culture and
Mm,
that whole idea that there'd been life on Earth and and creatures from outer space and all this. And whenever he was over, and we had some sort of big gathering at my parents' house, if he was there, most people would steer away from him because he would just start on this conversation about alternative about aliens and stuff, and people would be like, "No, he's insane. We don't want to talk to him." But I used to find him fascinating as a kid.
sounds great.
Yeah, he was absolutely. He was very intense, but he was yeah. And he used to bring me like stuff he'd photocopied from books and magazines. Oh, you should really read this, and you should. This is interesting, and so yeah. I think growing up, I I was never afraid of difference, and I I would much rather go towards something that was authentic and honest and have a conversation and try and find some understanding than to do the opposite, which is
Mm,
to live in fear, to live in judgment, to not to not what to not want to understand another human being. I think is I
mm.
find very difficult.
So, we're touching on. I don't know if we've. I hope we have. This is just we've pressed record. Xenophobia is what we're doing, and I'm trying to just process or contribute to the what I how I feel I relate to what it is, how it can affect me, how it has maybe affected me, and my understanding of it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But and I hope I'm doing it a service, as best I can, to best of my ability. Please forgive me. I am actually feeling very freaking fried now. I've suddenly realised it's like I'm on this. Suddenly, it's hit me that it's so late in the day, and I'm like, oh my god. But what I was going to say was that the most obvious things that come up for me from what we're discussing is why. It's why we kind of we know what it is. I think
Yeah.
that's quite obvious for everyone. Um, but it's why. Why does it exist? Why is there clearly, you sharing the town that I knew so well. I used to get a banging freaking bit of street Thai food from that place. Have they gone now? Have they been like scared away from the town centre?
I've got no idea. I very rarely go to that town
Oh
centre.
God, okay. But anyway, why is it that people feel the need to put flags in the ground?
Hmm.
Why is it? And it's not just here in our country in England. I've been to America a lot. Um, it seems to be mainly England and America that we've adopted it more than ever now. We've adopted the American putting the flag in the, they love putting a flag in. They put it everywhere they can. The cars, the motorbikes, they put them on their dogs. There is some satire to what I'm saying, so please forgive me, any American listeners. But you may agree with me with what I'm saying. It's only an observation, you know. It's quite flag heavy. It's a flag heavy place, um, and we're becoming the same. And why is it? Why do we feel the need? Why do we feel the need? What are we feeling? It's like I always use that analogy of the dog with the bone. Like, who's trying to take your bone? Why does the dog feel it needs to growl when it's got the bone in its mouth, and you all you got to do is put your hand towards the mouth and it goes "Argh," as if to say, fuck off. This is my bone. Leave it alone. You're not welcome. And that's kind of how I see it. Like, why do we feel the need? Why do we feel the need to? Because it is quite a statement.
Yep.
It's not, is it just pride? I'm proud to be British. I'm proud to be American. I'm proud to be Spanish. I'm proud to be from Zimbabwe or whatever nation or, you know, why, what is that? What is that? And why do all the flags come out in certain, is it pride? Is it just, or I don't know. I don't get that. I don't understand.
I mean, I think, if we look at um, xenophobia as a thing, it's not strictly an emotion. It's not strictly a feeling. But it brings out so many strong feelings and emotions.
Do you think it's a response?
Well, I think it's the response to the moment you have that sort of that phobia. You know, it's like it. You're afraid, you're in fear, you feel unsafe, you're judgmental, you can be aggressive. There's all of these different emotions and feelings connected to that word of xenophobia. And like you said, where does it stem from? And it is, whether it's pride, whether it's a feeling of belonging, uh, whether it's, I want to feel like, my little part of the world is is safe, and no one's going to come and take it away from me. It's there's it's all of these sort of really extreme emotions that it affects people and causes in people, and it's and I just feel on the whole it takes away the richness of life. It sort of takes away
Mm.
um like our ability to walk towards the stranger, to walk towards the beating drums and the fire, and
Yeah,
what all this stuff that we go out into the world, and like you said, it's like I can hear these incredible prayers happening. I can hear someone having this,
chanting or
yeah, this incredible spiritual experience, and I'm not going to go and and demean it in any shape or form, but I am going to go and see what that means to me,
mm,
and whether I can have some shared experience of this and some connection. And you know there's these things that we can look at, people that the people who are strangers to us, people who are different to us. We can see it as a threat. We can see it as uh that we are unsafe, or we can look at it and go, actually, what why am I not feeling more connection to the fact that they are another human being, um and they have an experience that could have I could learn from, I could share, I could
adopt.
adopt,
Yeah, I think most obvious thing for me that's come up is the extremism that is out there,
yeah.
and that's what you described. Baz and his mates down at the Jolly Booze or whatever it's called. Yeah, all getting on the old packets and
Yeah.
slinging back the freaking 12 Nelson Mandelas you know, all of that stuff with their port scratchings, their arse cheeks hanging out, all that vibes, right? Very alluring, isn't it? Sounds really sexy. What a catch. Um, but what was I saying? I've lost my bloody trail of thought. That's extremism.
Yeah, yeah,
That's extremism.
yeah.
It's not the minority. It's not the majority. That's just a small minority of people who don't know any better, and it's just what they think is the thing that they need to do for whatever reason. And I can
Hmm.
think of a few reasons why they do it. You covered it. You know, it's like there's a power. It's a bit of a power thing. It's a connection, power, belonging. It's very tribal. It's it's a fellowship, a band of brothers, whatever you want to call it. It's that. It's a
Yeah,
herd. It's a herd, and I feel safe in the herd.
yeah.
I'm not vulnerable when I'm in the herd. We covered that the other
Mm.
episode. All right. But I say, fuck the herd. All right. There's a lot more power, empowerment, and authenticity and truth and divinity, all the good essences of love and all the great stuff comes from standing, having your own mind, not being a sheep, and believing in what you want to believe in, and walking your own path. Stop fucking following other people's bullshit. So extremism is a big part of the problem,
Yeah.
and that's what xenophobia stems from. Is there's this extremist narrative in the world over. There's all these little sectors, pockets of extremist minorities and the media love that. They have a field day with it and they project a narrative that it's the mainstream and we're all going to be taken over by these extremist groups and we're all going to fucking turn into pumpkins.
Yeah.
And it's fear based
Yeah.
projection,
I
and
think
and,
that's
pe-
the
and,
that's the
pe-
word fear. Yeah.
and people have a fear response to it, which is
Mm.
I need to gather in the herd and fucking stick flags in the ground.
Yeah.
And I want to know where the fucking where's the Mother Earth flag? What does that look like? Should just say one love with a picture of a dove on it or something
Hmm.
with a packet of Oreos. There are other yummy biscuits on offer that could be on the flag. But you get the groove. It's like, why are we not celebrating that and putting that flag in the ground?
Yeah.
That's what I think. If I'm honest, I feel like I'm pretty done on this.
Yeah.
Not because I'm being xenophobic. I'm just
Lovely.
fucking tired, man.
It's the late night show.
It's a big
Yeah.
subject.
It's huge. It's huge, and there's so many emotions tied up in it. And you know, we we are focused. Like you've just gone on about. It's fear based. It's ignorance based, and yeah, we need to. If we really want to stick a flag in the ground, it'd be nice to have a flag that unites us all, as opposed to divides us.
You shared it just the other day about Buzz Aldrin or whatever the astronaut's name was.
Oh, the one that's up on the space station now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Buzz is that's not Buzz, is it? It's just a different astronaut that's up there.
Yeah, I don't know what
And
his name is.
anyway, the astronauts. It's always the astronauts.
Yeah.
We need the astronauts. We need more astronauts to step up and tell us all how it is. To
Yeah.
remind us that we are just from space looking back. There's no borders, man. There's no freaking flags. It's just One love, man. Stop fighting.
I can't. It's quite. Bearing in mind that America has had a actor as a politician and a president, I'm surprised they've never had an astronaut as a
I
president.
think they need an astronaut to step in
Yeah,
and get a reality check on every
yeah,
situation that's out there at the minute because
definitely.
we need one, and
Yeah,
we need one in this country. Every nation should have an astronaut as the premier or whatever you want to call them,
yeah,
and I think we'd be dialed in then.
yeah,
Would
yeah.
that be a start? And not all astronauts are white men.
No, no.
That's the great thing about it. You got all sorts.
Yeah, you have.
You got women. You've got you got people from other nations.
Yeah.
So let's get the blend, man.
Okay.
We need a good old reshape, remodel. We really do. But as always, it starts with us. So hopefully, one thing you might take away from this is it might make you reflect on, well, how do I relate to all of this? How am I with all of this? Just got to follow your own path, be discerning, don't be a sheep, and follow other people's idiosyncrasies. I can never say that word.
Idiosyncrasies.
Yeah, you know the
Syncrasies.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just smile at people. Just goes a long way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and your kind face.
You got a kind face.
Oh, thanks very much.
Anyone that's with us all the way, you will be seeing our faces at some point. And on that note, let's end the episode.
ah. Yep. Okay. All right. I think we're done.
Good. I'll see you on the next one.
I'll see you then. Take care.
Good night, man. Bye.